Welcome to Help Desk with Joe. And this is show number 67. We're here at the Patch Turned Up Studio in Spencer, West Virginia. And we're on show 67. We're moving right along, boys.
Making progress.
Making progress, I agree. So today we're going to talk about the technology updates and topics and news stories that everybody needs to know. And, of course, Joe bringing that to us here. And we have an update on Android, Apple TV, and Microsoft. And we'll have the tip of the week. And we always enjoy the tip of the weeks. And I'm excited about today's updates, tech news updates. Because, of course, I have an Android.
Right.
And I use Microsoft. So
Right.
2 out of 3.
Proud
Android owner.
Yeah, proud Android owner. I have this conversation a lot. People are like, why don't you like the iPhones and stuff? I was like, it's just too hard. I don't know. They got to make it hard and you pay for it to be harder.
Yeah, because I tell my buddy Greg because I don't like Android copycats.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, that's my own personal bias. But
Yeah.
We'll get busy with the show today. So show 67 as we close in on the show 75 number there, which I don't know, for some reason I just kind of like those numbers when we reach them.
Right.
But we've been doing this show for about 10 or 11 years now, and different variations and forms. But now we're on to the Facebook Live and the podcast side of it, so it makes it exciting. Always exciting. So here we go with today's show, and each week, if you're new to this deal, Joe and here joined with us with Justin, we have technology news updates for the general consumer, businesses, small businesses, whatever the case may be, just things you need to know about your technology. So, Joe, get us started. Tell me about my Android.
Okay, so I have some good news for Android.
Ooh, and that's Justin had asked before the show started, hey, is this good or bad? And you said a mix.
Yeah.
I was wondering which one I would fall under with Android, but I'm glad it's good.
Yeah. So the Android Messages app now offers end-to-end encryption.
That sounds good. That sounds like something you'd like, Joe.
You might like that, Joe, but I don't understand what that means. End-to-end encryption.
Yes. So what end-to-end encryption means is when I send you a text, and when you receive it, there's nobody in between that can get in what they call a man in the middle and go, well, Joe just sent Dave a text that says this. It goes straight to Dave, and nobody can get in the middle and see what's being sent or received.
Really?
Yes.
Was that a problem?
Apparently.
I don't. Here's the problem. I'm not a technology guy like you. I know this is your field.
Right.
You do technology for a living, but I'd never heard of that. But I guess my point is I wouldn't know to hear of that.
Right.
Is that something that has been an issue in the technology part of the phones?
Yes. Well, that and from a privacy standpoint, it's just an extra layer of privacy.
Okay.
So then you and I can have private conversations without having, and I don't want, it's too early in the show to start our conspiracy theory path.
I like the conspiracy theories, though. I enjoy them.
Having unacknowledged eyes.
Yeah.
See what's being said.
Is this kind of like, when people are like, I was just talking about buying lawn chairs, for instance, then it pops up on your Facebook or Amazon or whatever?
Yes.
So is this because I know people talk about that and they're like, yeah, I was just talking about this and it popped up, so my phone's listening, my laptop's listening.
Right.
Is this part of that, or is that just a separate issue all the way around?
I think that's a separate issue, kind of down the right path.
Right.
But with this, it's just an extra layer of security. So then, not just anybody can sit and watch text messages going through the internet. That basically you and I have a secure line between us, kind of like the old tin can and a string.
Yeah.
You and I are talking to each other on tin can, and Justin can't attach a string to the can and listen in.
Splice in.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We're saying, sorry, Justin, you're out.
Now, is this something that Apple has in place or no?
Yes, between iMessaging, between iPhones. So
but not. Yeah.
Right. So as of right now, that they have it set up for only one-to-one conversations only. So just you and I. So if you and I text back and forth, it'll be encrypted. But now if all three of us text each other on our group text that we have for the shows, it'll still be open text. But honestly, if there's anybody that's really interested in, hey, we still on for Wednesday?
That's what I was gonna say.
It's a slow day.
I mean, I always giggle and laugh because people are like, "Oh, my phone's tracking me." I was like, "Great." If somebody really cares that I went to Walmart to get groceries and back,
Right.
and to work and back, they can track me all day long.
Right.
That's fine.
Right. It's one of those. I'm with you. Although I'm a privacy advocate, I'm
Me as well. I'm just saying.
Hey, don't be nosing on what I'm doing. What I do on my own time's my own business. Be on the flip side of the coin. I'm like, if you really think my life is that interesting. I'm sorry.
It's funny and what really kills me is the people that always are offended by that. They're like, "Oh, their big brother's watching or listening," are always the people that I know, and I'm like, "Yeah, you go home, you go to Walmart, you go to work. You really think somebody needs to know that?"
Well, and here's what just blows.
Oh my gosh, people
blows my mind is 9 times out of 10, the people that are the biggest worrywarts about that are the ones that post the most intimate details of their life on social media.
That is a fantastic point. You are so right, because, they'll have pictures of themselves, their kids, their families, their house, what food they had for dinner, and, where they go on vacation, because you've gave out that vacation tip of the week, and I'm like, yep. Those same people are worried that somebody's going to steal the information, they just give it to them.
Yeah, and what I love, of course, we live in a small town, so people post their most intimate details on Facebook, and it takes about 10 minutes for everybody in the county to know it.
Yep.
And then when everybody starts talking about it, they get mad and post online, "I wish people would stay out of my life. Quit posting on Facebook, and we will." We live in a small town. We have nothing else better to
do. You're exactly right. It used to be gossip on the phone, and now it's gossip on social media.
Yes.
And if you're younger and you're listening to this show, we're spilling the tea.
Yep.
Are you guys familiar with that at all?
I heard that over the weekend.
Yeah, spilling the tea is like gossip. That's young people speak.
Yeah.
So everybody out there that's over like 25, you're welcome. Just gave you some urban slang.
There you
Spill
go.
the tea. Tell me the story.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on.
I can tell I'm getting older when I have to look up Urban Dictionary on stuff.
Yeah, I can't believe we even have to have an Urban Dictionary, but
Yeah, 'cause it's been several years ago. These kids called in the middle of the night, crank calling us, and was telling me all this stuff, and it's one of those, I wanted to be offended, but I literally had no idea what they was talking about. I was like, am I supposed to be mad?
Does this pertain to me for real?
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah, I'm confused.
It's funny, though. Who do you prank call now?
I don't know.
Because with caller ID,
yeah,
and everybody has cell phones instead of like home phones.
Yeah.
How do you prank call somebody?
Well, you can still hide your number, but yet I had these kids one night forgot to hit that whatever. So I got their number, and I called them back.
Yeah.
And I said, "Look," I've got your number. I work for the sheriff's department, which is true. We do work for our local sheriff's
you're a
department.
contractor, yeah.
I said, if this phone number ever shows up ever again, I said the number will be turned over to the authorities.
Yeah.
And then the kid goes, "Well, can I say something?" I said, "Go for it." Well, I have a family member. He just starts a little spiel. He knows so many cops. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You called me.
Yeah.
The ball's in my court.
Yeah. That's funny. Because that was a big thing when I was a kid. You could prank call. You could go to a local payphone, and prank call whoever.
Yeah.
And, it's always their home phone and they didn't have caller ID. And then it was a big thing when you could star 69 and recall the number.
Yes.
That became a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's still a big thing if you think about it. All these spam telemarketer calls we get daily, multiple times.
I wonder if they were doing prank calls back when it was like a switchboard and people actually plugged the plug.
Like party lines?
Well, I know what you're saying. Like, hey, George, connect me to Fred. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. That's a good question.
I wonder, one of the first people are like, hey, let's call Fred and just, give him a hard time.
Yeah.
Mess with him.
Yeah.
It probably didn't take long for that to start
happening.
Gosh,
yeah. Turn any teenager loose with anything, and that's how it's going to turn out. Let the hijinks begin.
Yep.
That is a very
what we can do?
That's a very good... that's the one thing I'd never thought of. That's an excellent point. Just when was the very first...
You'd be like, phone operator,
call?
Just connect me to somebody. I don't even care who.
Yeah.
I got some things I want to say. And I'm just going to point out, Justin's supposed to keep us on task, and he just contributed to us going off task.
Yeah.
So now I'm not sure what your role is here, Justin.
He's become one of us.
Yeah.
So, for the end-to-end encryption to work, both participants need to have RCS chat features enabled to use it, and you'll know if your message about to send will be encrypted or not if you see a lock icon on the send button.
What?
Okay.
What's an RCHS send feature?
The
RCS send feature? What's that all about?
That's the new chat standard they're trying to move to.
So if I'm sending a message, oh boy,
rich communication service. So when text messaging first started, it was set up as SMS or short message system, which was just basically set up to send text only. And then people started sending pictures. So then they had to create a new format for pictures. And that's such an old and dated system that they're moving over to this RCS, which is kind of the new kid in town.
So where's this show at?
When you click the send button, it should it's supposed to have a lock.
Okay, mine does not have that.
Okay, mine doesn't either, so I'm gonna have to look into that.
So this is supposed to be implemented already. This is
they just flipped a switch like yesterday.
Okay.
So it of course we may not have it yet. We may not.
Might need to do an update or something.
Yeah.
I have a search. That's weird. I don't know if that was there before. I'm looking at my phone now, and I just sent you a text just to see. It says use translation. I don't need to use a translation. That was a big one. Settings. I don't know. Craziness.
And Joe, you're always security conscious, so you've probably never done it, but there probably are people out there who have texted over their social security number to someone. Or all sorts of
personal information.
Information that could be used to compromise you or take your identity.
Right.
Yeah, Joe, send me your social security number.
Yeah.
Let's try this out.
One.
I'm going to give you the best 8 numbers I know.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing there were some people that always go out about well, you don't need to encrypt it, it's going to be something for bad. No, not necessarily. I mean, I know with our job and even with your guys' jobs, there's just some information that you send back and forth that you need for your job.
Yeah, it would be nice because we work with after school programs, daycares, and with kids and stuff, and it would be nice knowing that information is secure, more secure than Or I guess the more secure it could be, the better.
Right, and I know you guys wouldn't be sending like social security numbers over text message, but even what's Johnny's birthday?
You'd be surprised what Justin sent me.
Yeah.
Well, we won't have that discussion on air. How's that?
Would you still advise against such things, Joe? Was the safest thing always to call somebody? Like if you need to get that information to someone.
Yeah, it's always a lot safer to send it to them in person versus like an email or even a text or anything like that. That always trumps it all.
I'm kind of torn. I mean, how big an issue is getting your identity stolen now?
Oh, it's just as big as it's ever been.
Really? I haven't heard a lot about it, I guess. But again, everybody keep in the context here of I'm not a technology guy I don't even have TV, so I don't watch news or anything. So maybe it's out there and I just don't know it.
Oh yeah,
I'm just saying in general. It used to be a big thing if you had your identity stolen, but now I haven't really heard about it much.
Oh, it happens more than what you think. All these data breaches with these companies and stuff like that. Oh yeah, it's a boom. It's a $1 billion business.
Yeah, I mean, and so that's I guess the point of my comment is, or am I just becoming more apathetic to it because it's so prevalent?
I think that's it.
Because it's just like anything else. We were talking this morning about COVID. It's been around for
year and a half.
almost 500 days. So now it's just kind of like
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And not that it needs to be taken lightly. I'm just saying once you kind of get in a routine of anything, it becomes the norm.
Right. You've gotten over that fear stage. It's like now we'll just deal with
this is how you deal with stuff. So that's why like identity theft seems like a moot point almost.
Right.
And I'm sure your heart rate just went up, but I am doing 2-factor authentication, Joe. Rest assured. And some things, I'm sure.
Justin, should I believe him?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, why not? Let's believe him today.
Better?
It helps your blood pressure stay lower. Yeah.
Yeah, now we're out of stroke range. Now we're down to just high blood pressure. We're doing good, guys.
So in the technology world, though, how many of those things are a big deal still, you think? Like, is this going to be something that's a game changer, or is it just another standard protocol?
Hopefully it's hopefully a new standard protocol. I mean, this is exciting news that they're actually sending it end-to-end encryption, because that's one of the things a lot of these companies dropped the ball on when COVID started, and like Zoom, for example. Zoom, remember we was talking about?
Oh yeah, Zoom got hacked left and right.
Yeah, and they just let everybody have an open meeting, so then all three of us could go into random meetings and just sit there going and just cause utter chaos. And then
did you do that, Joe?
No, surprisingly, I didn't.
You know, that really surprises me.
If I had better internet, I probably would have at least tried.
Daggone Frontier.
Yeah. Thanks, Frontier, for
keeping me out all the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe could have been having all kind of fun.
Yeah.
It is. I say funny, but it's not really funny. But I did remember seeing the news stories of Zoom meetings getting hacked and people just doing terrible things in these meetings, the professional meetings that and kid meetings and stuff. And I was just at the time, I was like, it only takes one dingbat to sit around, like we were just talking with prank calls. One dingbat to say, these Zoom meetings are open. Hey, guess what we can do?
Yeah,
we can go crash their Zoom meeting and do stupid stuff.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, I wouldn't, go out of, if I was going to do it, I wouldn't go out of the way and go wide open from go. It's on one of those, let's just see how long we can kick this can down the road. In other words, I'm going to go in there and I'm just slowly, just little things over time, and just see how long you can sit in that meeting until you get kicked out. Kind of like how I play Among Us.
Yeah,
just keep poking the bear until they go, nope, you're out.
Well, it would be kind of funny. I mean, there's funny parts to it, and then there's sad parts. And it would be funny if you could do it in a non-mean way. Like maybe go into a meeting and just make a couple comments and just see if they notice that you're not supposed to be there.
Right.
But innocent comments, like nice comments. But then you get those people that just, do racist and vulgar things, and that just ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, just sit there, and when they start talking, going, well, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why you guys think it is an idea. You need to go back to the drawing board just to look, see the look on the face going, what?
Who are you? How'd you get it? What? That would, those are the kind of funny things that,
Yeah, you don't have to be mean about it.
Right.
That's the thing. People nowadays think you got to have to be just write down an awful, terrible person for a laugh. No, just the littlest things.
Yeah.
If people are expecting the car to turn left and you just turn it right.
By the way, Joe, this is why you don't get invited to any of our staff trainings. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but yeah, you're never invited to any of the staff trainings.
Am I like the prime example of his is what you don't do?
No, you're the prime example of some people you just don't bring into your trainings. And Joe's one of them.
I heard...
now, Cena's welcome all day long.
Yeah.
A professional, consummate professional.
Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, ladies from the show The Office, they talked about NBC when they did their yearly trainings. They used clips from The Office of things you shouldn't do in an office. He's like, it's funny, we're sitting here trying to have a serious training, and they're using our show, and I'm seeing myself on the screen. Yep.
That is crazy. Okay, well... Now, that's only with Android. What if Justin and I text back and forth, and he's the knucklehead that's got the iPhone?
It'll just fall under the standard text messaging.
Thanks, Justin. Yeah. We cannot have a secure conversation.
You can't tell me anything.
Yeah, I'm not telling you anything now. That's going to be my reason for cutting Justin off the communication trails. Like, Justin's not secure. He's out.
So in other words, Justin's out of the, hey, we still on for Wednesday morning text?
Yeah.
Sorry, Justin. You'll have to catch either Dave and I in the hallway to... double check.
All our communication will be face to face. You're welcome. See how long you like that.
Yeah. But 6 feet apart.
Yeah. Craziness.
All right.
So tell us about Apple TV.
Okay. So Apple TV, starting July 1st, will be reducing their free trial period when you buy a new iPhone, iPad, Mac, or Apple Watch. They're going to kick it down to 3 months starting July 1st.
What was it?
A year.
Oh, wow. So they're cutting it down to a fourth.
Well, it was a year, and then when COVID hit, they just kept extending it.
That's right. I remember this story. Yeah.
So it was like almost a year and a half.
Yep.
So they're kicking it down to 3 months with the new purchase. So
getting back to what was normal, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
So starting July 1st, you'll get just 3 months of free Apple TV Plus when you buy a new iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Apple TV, or Mac. As Mac Rumors has reported, Apple has kept the subscriber numbers tight to the vest, but Statista recently estimated up to 40 million at the end of 2020, 40 million users.
Wow. Is that good?
Not bad. However, a large number of those might have been free offers, according to the reports earlier this year, with a fair chunk saying they have no plans of renewing to the $4.99 per month service once their free trial ends.
Well, we talked. I mean, $4.99 a month doesn't seem bad because what was the last one we talked about?
HBO Max was like $15.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And we were concerned because $15 seemed like a lot a month.
Right, and that's the thing. That's where a lot of these companies are figuring out is $5 isn't bad, but $5 here, $5 here, $5 there, $5 there. You know, that stuff starts adding up.
Yeah, and if you're at the top of the tier, around $15 a month, then that makes you, I don't know, that people can start to be competitive with it.
Right.
So, because $10 is a pretty broad range.
Right.
Huh. Interesting. Are you familiar with either one of them?
With Apple TV Plus?
Yeah. Or HBO?
Yeah, I'm an HBO Max subscriber.
Okay. Is it worth?
Yes. For me it is, because just the vast library of content that they have. Yep. A lot of older shows that I love.
That's right. We talked about that. So yeah, it was worth it. Okay. And then you don't have anything to do with the
Apple
TV,
TV Plus?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, because
I'm not even asking you, Justin, because I know your technological or lack of technology for you to enable to get these things. You live on a farm, a rural farm, so yeah. Yeah, we may have some internet issues there.
The black hole, I call it. That's what I go every day.
You know what, though? It's got to be pretty peaceful, though, because you can go home in the evening and just be like,
Yep. But then sometimes you're like, I want to Google something, and you can't.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny, because...
Take a trip to town to use Google.
Yeah. Interesting. Huh.
But you could...
Good and bad and everything.
You can use the excuse, I didn't have service, if you don't want to reply to somebody, too.
So so you kind of...
See, my
problem
would be, like, I got to Google something. Let's go to town. All right, so then I'd go to town. It's like, you know what? I'm hungry. Let's get something to eat. All right, now let's get an ice cream. Hey, now let's go check this out. Yeah, might as well wander around Walmart while we're in town.
Yeah, $100 later, that was one expensive Google.
Yeah, well, it's all started just because I wanted to know a random fact.
Yeah. And in my case, it'd have been just a random fact that really didn't amount to anything.
Yeah, they could have done without.
Yeah.
Waited till in the morning. That's how it goes, though. All right, so down to 3 months for Apple TV and only $5.99.
Yeah. Or $4.99.
Or $4.99, yeah. Still in that cheaper range.
Yeah, so you still have a 3-month trial if you buy a new Apple device, and then after that, if you want to keep it, it's $4.99 a month. So if you're used to the older year-long or 6-month window they gave you, it's tightened down to 3 months. Still not bad, though, for buying a new device.
Yeah, I mean, hey, anything. It's going to be weird getting back to... See, now, okay, so let me ask you this, Joe.
Okay.
Your professional opinion.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, I mean... How many of these things do you think will be like that? Like Apple TV making that move going from a year and a half, whatever it was, extended through COVID, back to what the norm was? And how many of the things do you think will change to what the norm is now and stay that way?
I think numbers are going to be the player. As far as things are starting to open back up.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the big telling factor of how long people are going to keep these streaming subscriptions.
So that's a good point, because everybody was restricted to what they could do, so a lot of people stayed home.
Right.
Now, so I guess the question will be, will the statistics show that people will stay home more because that's what they've been doing for the last year, or will it blow up because they're going to be getting out and doing more?
I think it's going to blow up because everybody... like we talked about earlier with the COVID deal, everybody is tired of sitting at home in fear. It's like, you know what? The vaccine's out.
Either that or they're like, man, my couch is really comfortable.
There'll still be some people like that, but I think there'll be more people of, you know what? Enough's enough. I want to...
Yeah.
I want to go outside.
Go outside and get normal. Yeah. You know, I'm happy to hear you say that, because Patch is Planned Approach Community Health, obviously. So advocacy for doing outside stuff is high on our list.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that you feel that's going to go that direction. I worry because I feel like we've built some couch potatoes, especially in our younger generation.
Right.
And I worry that they won't want to transition out of that lifestyle.
Well, and I hope
that's hard. That's tough.
I hope I'm completely right on this.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, the numbers show just from a mental health standpoint.
Oh gosh, yes.
I mean, from my own personal experience, when shutdown started and you weren't allowed to leave your house,
yeah,
I stayed off. I just finally at about about 6-7 days into it, I was like, enough's enough. I just stayed off. I just went off of social media, and I stayed off for almost a week.
Yeah.
Because it literally started messing with my head to the point is like I could start feeling depressed every time I got on it. But then it was that old habit of just going there and checking. And I was like, I just had to cut myself off cold turkey. Like, I'm done.
That says a lot because you're a technology guy. That your whole business and job is around doing technology. So that's got to be hard.
You know, I went on there for work purposes, but that was literally it. I wasn't checking the feed to see what was going on because it was like I could feel myself getting depressed just looking at it. I was like, no, I don't need this.
Yeah.
There's enough going on. I don't need this garbage.
Yep.
You know, just messing with me. So
that's nice. And that's, you know, it's been on my own personal reflection here. It's been good for me because I've got rid of my TV. I cut the cord, and I don't miss it.
Right.
I mean, I don't even. It's weird to think, you know, you go inside. It's weird for me to reflect back on how much I would come inside and just flip on the TV because I was bored.
Right.
And now I'm like, I don't need no TV to flip on, so it makes it super nice.
Well, it's like the news. I rarely watch the news.
Yeah.
Because it's just so depressing.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And this was long before COVID. I'm not even talking.
I didn't watch the news before COVID, and I definitely don't miss it now.
Yeah, and it's just like. There's just so
I just watch Help Desk with Joe, and I get all the news updates I need.
There you go. We hit all the important stuff.
Yeah.
And with little shenanigans in between. And Justin trying to keep us on track.
Yeah, Justin, jeez whiz.
So it's going to be interesting. Going back to the question, it's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out.
Yeah.
With all these streaming services now that everybody is saying enough's enough. We're going to try to get back to going outside and doing this and going places and trying to have a little enjoyment in life.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Today at 5:30, trail race, just shameless plug there.
There you go, yeah.
Get outside and come out.
Are you going to be there, Joe?
Today?
Yeah.
I think I'll have to pass on that one.
It's a trail race. Joe, you got to get in 3 more miles, buddy.
I know. And how much yoga have you done?
The yoga card.
I know, daggone it. Yoga. I've been busy, Joe.
Well, I have too.
Actually, so I drove this is craziness. I drove the girls to soccer practice yesterday in Kentucky and got caught on Route 2 where they're paving. Literally set for 20 minutes. Moved up about 2 miles in the traffic line and then set for another 20 minutes before I could get through the little quarter-mile paving area.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I actually was sitting there and propped my head up and snoozed for 20 minutes on the second one because I was like, I think we're going to be here a while.
Right.
Put the car in park.
Honk and wake me up.
They did. The car behind me honked because Katie was reading and Ella was snoozing and I was snoozing and he's like, beep, beep. And I looked and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're moving.
That works.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it's just unreal, but it's crazy. I was just like, man, I just wasted 40 minutes sitting here on, waiting for construction.
See, right there, 40 minutes you could have got out and yoga right there.
I know that. Well, that's, I was like, I'd love to find time for yoga, but I'm not willing to make time in my schedule yet. We didn't get back till 10:30 at night.
And you're not willing to do it right there in the middle of Route 2 in front of God and everybody.
I should have. I should have got out, but I was just,
They'd have been going, what's this lunatic doing?
I don't know. They might have been like, you know what? That's a great idea. If we're going to sit here for 20 minutes, I can
join you?
Yeah.
Get a yoga group.
Can we both? Yeah, that's true.
And then we see Dave on the news. Route 2 shut down due to people doing DDPY.
Yeah, doing yoga, Mill Street.
Well,
I should have pulled the old Amy Fowler or whatever her name is and been like, it's okay. My technology guy said I should do this.
Yeah. He said it's okay.
Yeah. Don't worry. It's all good. Just stretch it a little.
Yeah.
I'm channeling in my Richard Simmons.
Just don't break out the sequin shorts, please.
Oh, man. You know what? It's funny.
Now, let's see how many people we just shut up because they have no idea what that reference is.
Yeah.
They were sweating to the oldies.
Sweating to the oldies. Man, he attracted such a crowd. It's amazing. A guy in short shorts and striped and polka dot tank tops with curly hair.
Yeah.
What was jazzercising to the oldies? Sweating to the oldies,
yeah.
I mean, my gosh. Captured a whole generation right there.
Yeah. Pop culture icon.
It's amazing. The 80s were awesome. Anyway. All right, back on track.
Okay.
So what was the last one now?
Microsoft.
Hold it, Microsoft. There we go.
Yes.
I also use Microsoft, so I'm interested.
So you remember me telling you this a long time ago that Microsoft said Windows 10 is it. We're not going anywhere else.
I'm going to call time out here because I'm going to just set the record straight. I rarely remember anything we talk about because I have a technology guy that takes care of that stuff for me. So therefore, I feel like I don't have to remember anything.
Okay. So
go ahead.
When Microsoft released Windows 10, they puffed out their chest and they touted, this is it. This is the last Windows you'll ever get. We'll push out 2 major updates every year, and this is going to be it. Last week they kind of changed their tune.
Oh boy.
Apparently they can't. Now this is going back down the conspiracy theory path. Apparently they can't pack enough tracking information into Windows 10, so they had to come out with Windows 11.
Isn't Windows 10 new?
It came out in 2015.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So 6-7 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
So Microsoft.
I don't even know what version I have of anything. Did I mention I have a technology guy, so I don't have to know this stuff?
That's right. That's what I'm.
Windows 10 is that old?
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
That's craziness.
Yeah. So Windows 10 is going to end.
Have I had Windows 10 for 6 years?
No, because you ran Windows 7 till Windows 7 end of life kicked in.
Okay.
Well, no. I'll take it back. You had Windows 8, and then it auto upgraded to Windows 10. So yeah, you've had Windows 10 for a few years, Dave.
Okay. I mean, I remember I kind of think I liked XP.
That's been
a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember liking it, and then they had an update that I just hate. Vista.
Yes.
Hated it.
Vista was a train wreck.
How long ago was that?
Vista would have been 06, 07.
So yeah. Wow, 14, 15 years ago. That's the last time I remember anything about my computers.
That's when
Microsoft stuff. Well, I mean, I just remember I loved whatever I had, which I think was XP.
Yeah.
And then you came in and like, all right, listen, you got to upgrade.
Yeah, Vista was a dumpster fire.
And yeah, we hit Vista, and I was like, Joe, this is horrible. I hate this. How do we get away from this?
And then 7 came out and saved
the day.
Yeah,
and you were like, don't worry. You know, give it a couple months, and we'll change it over. And you changed us over to 7. I was like, okay, good. But I didn't know what came after Vista. I just knew whatever it was, I liked it.
Yeah, that was 7.
Because I hated Vista so much.
And then 8 came out and that was basically what I call Vista 2.0.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But that's the last time I remember any conversations with you about our Microsoft software.
I was a little frustrated with 10 there for a little bit. I'm used to it now, but just the way they changed the way things look.
Going to like apps.
Even in like Word, it used to be just
click
drop down, but now it's like these little tabs.
I'll just wait, Justin. If you hate the look of Windows 10, you're really going to hate Windows 11.
Really?
Yeah, I seen some screenshots last night.
Spill the tea.
They instead of the Windows icon in the bottom left corner, like we've had since
the little
Windows 95.
Yeah.
It's now in the middle.
What?
In the middle of what?
In the middle of your screen at the bottom on your taskbar.
Really? On the taskbar?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Why they gotta do that?
Because it's new.
Joe, you gotta have a talk with these people.
Oh yeah, like they're gonna listen to me.
I struggle with how like the startup bar and all that stuff work anyway.
Right.
Because I had I'll spill the tea on my own technological issues here. So I had Spotify and Teams that started automatically, drove me crazy.
Yes.
And I finally had you fix it a couple weeks ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that went on for like 2 years before I was like, all right, Joe, you got to fix this. I can't take it anymore. I couldn't figure out how to fix it myself.
Dave Staines, all he could stand, he couldn't stand no more.
Well, I mean, and you're just like, click, click, click. And then I had the issue with the quick print.
Yeah.
I was like, Joe, this thing's killing me. It took you 2 clicks, and you're like, all right, problem solved.
Yeah.
But I put up with that for like 3 months of not being able to quick print. And
he's got a high threshold for pain, it appears.
It's craziness. I'm just like, surely I can figure this out on my own, but I can't. And then Joe makes it look easy. So, you know, if you're like me and you're putting up with these silly things,
don't
get a technology guy in your life. It makes it so much. And then when you do have them in your life, use them because, you know, otherwise it just drives you crazy.
Right. So Windows 10, if you hated Windows 10, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. If you like Windows 10,
Well, hold on though, because now that we're used to Windows 10, if Windows 11 just comes in and moves stuff around on you, isn't that just going to be like a train wreck?
Again?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's light at the end of the tunnel. It sounds like I'm just going to be mad again.
Well, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but in your case, there's a train behind that light.
It's coming for you.
It's a head-on collision, and it's going to happen in a tunnel, and it's ugly.
Yeah.
That light keeps getting brighter.
Yeah. Hey, what's that noise? So I kind of have mixed feelings on this because Windows 10 has been such a mess from go.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Windows 10, well, for starters, Windows updates. Forever and ever, you could always pick and choose what updates to install and what updates you can't. Microsoft, in their infinite wisdom, Windows 10 said, no, you'll receive the updates and you will install them.
Yeah.
You can't choose anymore. And that has broke so much stuff over the years that it's not even, at this point, it's not even funny. Yeah, I've fixed a lot of that.
Yeah.
It
sounds weird, though, to have a technology person say that, because I almost feel like you should be saying, yeah, every update you can get's a good update and to let it roll. But you kind of, you're 50-50, it seems like.
Well, I've seen the outcome. I mean, by all means, I'll be the first one to tell you, yes, leave your automatic updates on.
Right.
But when I see this one particular update start breaking stuff, I should have the right to say, disable this completely.
Yeah.
This particular update completely, because you can uninstall it.
Right.
But then Windows 10 automatically turns right around and reinstalls it.
So really?
Yes, literally the only thing you can do is say, no, delay this update for 30 days, and then until Microsoft goes, yeah, let's pull that update out of the mix. So you're waiting on Microsoft to stop
fix
that
the
update.
problem.
Yeah. So that's been one of my biggest complaints. But there's been some things with Windows 10 that I absolutely loved. Like when I installed on a computer, I always had to go find the drivers to make the hardware work with the software. Now Windows 10, it just works. It automatically goes and pulls that software down. And I mean, I can count on one hand number of times if I had to actually go get software for my hardware to work.
Yeah, and you're talking about like when you plug something in on USB and it pops up a little screen on the right and says
installing.
Yeah, I mean, that is awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I take that for granted because I didn't really realize. I forgot that you used to have to go find drivers.
Yeah.
Huh. It's been a long time since I've had to go find a driver.
See, that's what I'm saying is they've done some great steps in this kind of stuff, but when then you have dumb things like Windows updates, it's just why? Because we know better. Yeah.
We know better, yeah. Oh boy. All right. So
Windows 11, I don't.
When? Do you know when?
Don't have an ETA on that.
And you said you saw some screenshots, right?
Yeah, I've seen some screenshots on Twitter last night from Paul Thurrott, who's a big Windows guy.
Did you like what you saw, or were you skeptical?
At this point, I'm skeptical. When he said one of the first things he saw was like the start buttons now. So like you push the start button, instead you get the little square or little rectangle on the left side.
Right.
It opens up this whole big screen in the middle of your screen. It's like, oh, this is going to be bad.
Do you feel like maybe some of it's just changes bad because, or do you have like a professional, okay, I don't want that window in the middle?
Well,
it seems weird to me that technology people wouldn't be kind of your mindset, where you're like, okay, hey, this is what I need to have happen to make it easier for me to work on a computer. Because let me ask you a different question first.
Okay.
How many people use that little icon on the side?
The little start button?
Yeah. I never do.
Not even to shut your system down?
You what? you shut your computer off?
Okay, not to even reboot it?
Well, I think it does it on its own.
When it installs updates.
Okay, mine's been shutting itself off.
Okay.
But no, because I'll go home and I work in remotely a lot.
Right.
Even in the evenings. I'll go home in the evening and be like, oh, yeah, I forgot to do this, and I'll come back into that computer remotely. Right. So I've been leaving mine on.
Right.
For like 2 years now. But it starts
But Dave
itself.
uses two-factor authentication, so everything's okay.
I do. Well, yes. But I mean, that just it's become habit now because with COVID and everything, I did a lot of work in evenings from home, and it was easy to remote in.
Right.
My technology guy made it super easy to remote in.
Yeah, but I think also the technology guy said you can do that, but you need to reboot at least once a week to keep all the resources fresh.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but what does he know?
Well, I get busy, Joe.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, and apathetic. Let's go with apathy. So this is an issue, though. I think my computer shuts itself off and starts itself back up.
Okay, yeah, it'll probably do that with updates automatically.
I mean, like once a day. I came in this morning and everything was shut off. But it was on, but it had shut. Like my email had closed, it had shut off on itself, and my my web page when I pulled up my Google, it said restore pages because everything shut down, and I'm like, yeah, sure, restore them.
Well, there was updates pushed out last week, so it may have finally just said, okay, we've installed updates, we're going to reboot now.
Yeah.
So that could have been what caused
You might check this out, by the way, but otherwise I'll just keep using it until it gets bad.
Until it blows up.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, it looks like you might be able to move it back over to the left. Like by default, it'll pop up in the middle, but you might
okay. So also for
all right. So anyway,
okay.
Back to my real question. So somebody like me that never uses that, and if I do, it's to just turn my computer on and off.
Right.
How big a deal is that for somebody on your end of the spectrum where you work on a computer? And like every time I see you work on my computer, if I'm paying attention,
right,
you go to that icon and start typing something in.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, from my standpoint, I'm thinking, okay, if they move that start button into the middle of the screen, they had to move your taskbar
somewhere,
apps that you're using to somewhere else.
Gotcha.
So how many times now are you going to click that button and get the start menu when you're trying to move?
I kind of get the feeling you don't want me to go in the start menu and mess with stuff.
No, I'm just saying, I can guarantee you're going to call me and say, Joe, I try to open up a spreadsheet, and every time I go back and forth between my spreadsheet and my emails, the start menu opens up. So, from my standpoint, it's like literally the start button has been in the bottom left corner since 1995.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this. And why are you changing it just to say it's new?
Yeah, that's good. And I didn't think about it. It is on this computer. I can look at it.
Are you a beta tester, Joe? Will you be able to get the early access?
I haven't looked into that yet. I like too much stability in my life to.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be days that I would actually go out and go, yeah, I got to be a beta tester. I want this new stuff. But like nowadays, it's like I need too much stability in my life to.
Yeah.
Now,
this computer needs restarted to install updates. By the way,
don't do that now, please.
I'm not. I'm just saying it. I saw it.
Okay, so that might explain why your desktop in the office.
Okay, I'll check it too.
Must not be too far off. June 24th, they're doing an event to like reveal like a big event saying here's Windows 11.
Huh.
So
end of the month, get more information on that.
Or so. Yeah.
Well, for everybody out there, I guess how did you put it? If you like Windows 10, get ready for a change. If you don't like Windows 10, get ready for a change.
Yep. Yep.
Here we go. And if you're like me, the train is coming at you pretty quick.
Full steam ahead.
But hey, I don't care. I got a tech guy. I don't have to worry about this stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so
move it on.
Now to our tip of the week.
Tip of the week. So is this a good one, or what are we saying here?
This is a small soapbox.
Okay. I like it when you get on your soapbox, Joe.
Oh, yeah,
we have some and just so everybody knows, we have some interesting conversations.
Yeah, it may not be educational, informative, but interesting nonetheless.
I agree, and it always tickles my fancy when you and I can sit down and we spar over politics, health, whatever. And Justin is the lucky benefactor of these conversations.
Yeah, Dave, you and I you're one of the few people that I can sit down and we can have opposing views, but actually have an adult conversation and
adult for real.
Well, okay.
We laugh and giggle at each other quite a bit for adults.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, adult as in
don't get offended. Yeah,
it's like, well, I'm not going to talk to you anymore because you have a different view. It's like, no, we just sit here and argue, and at the end, we'll just call each other dumb and move on.
How'd you know I was calling you dumb? I didn't say it out loud.
Well, I didn't either, but I'm just.
How did you end it this morning? Hey, if you and I could run everything, we'd solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, between you
and I'm thinking,
Justin,
my gosh.
Yeah. Between you and I and Justin, between the three of us, we could put us in a leadership role. We could fix some stuff nationwide.
I was thinking about that though after you said that, and I was like, by golly, we'd also offend a ton of people. they'd be like, but I like whatever, and we're like, yeah, it's got to change.
Give me a good reason. It was one of those. Give me a good reason. We'll talk. If not, it's out.
Yeah. And the funniest part is, I always think it was like I told you, trying to fix the airplane while it's flying.
True.
You know, how do you? A lot of these concepts are so big. Anyway, tip of the week.
Yes. Okay.
Whew.
So,
Justin, where you at on that, buddy? I mean, I'm not sure that you contributed, but you sure didn't stop the conversation from going that direction.
Either he's intrigued or he's just finally throwing his hand up and go, you know what? I've done the best I can do.
Yeah.
So which is it, Justin? Are you intrigued or are you going, you know what? I've done the best I can do. This is just where this is going to go.
Yeah. Can it be both?
It could be both. Just don't know yet.
The above?
All right, well, you hit that soapbox wide open and tip of the week.
So have you guys seen on social media within the last week this new face-changing app where you take a selfie of yourself and upload it, and it turns your face into a cartoon character?
Nope.
Okay. Well, that's the big craze.
That's a thing?
Yes, that's a thing.
What's it called?
Like a character?
Yeah.
You know, so they used to have the artists, I'm sure you're familiar with this. Usually they always showed them like on the beach boardwalks.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, you'd pay them and they would draw a character of you.
Yeah.
Caricature.
Yeah.
Huh. So they have an app that does that.
Yeah, they've had several apps, and you see them every so often come up. And
I've seen the kids, you know, you do the FaceTime or whatever.
Right.
Messenger video, and they got the little apps that'll change how you look.
And the only reason I know about this is because, like I said, I've seen it come through my Facebook feed. There's several people.
Hold on, does it make you prettier?
Well, it literally turns your face into a... Okay, now...
I could sure use an app that makes me look prettier.
I'm going to show you guys, but make sure my screen, you don't...
Yeah.
I don't want to give out this person's personal...
Yeah, it's this one.
Okay, so... Okay. Flip it to this one.
Okay.
Or this one, and I'll show you guys the screen. Because I don't want to show his personal...
Okay, yeah, it's
personal, because I don't...
It's on that one now.
Okay, so this is what it does. It takes their picture and puts...
It looks like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Hold on, it looks like...
It's like a Disney character.
Yeah, Frozen, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it does. It takes your picture, and don't... I mean, if you guys know the person, I'm sure you guys know the person, but don't give their name out.
I don't know, I can't see it.
Okay. But it takes you takes your picture and turns you into basically a Disney character.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's the latest craze.
I'm going to...
Okay, you can flip it back.
Right, there we go. Yep.
So that's the latest craze. So everybody's going nuts on going, hey, look at me, I'm a Disney character.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's a thing.
Oh, yeah. So...
People are bored.
So where stuff like that's pretty cool, I got to admit that is pretty cool.
Okay.
But as soon as I see that kind of stuff... Going back to the privacy and security side.
Yeah. Buzzkill.
You're giving away your photo.
Yeah, the buzzkill here. Do you really know what all that is being done with your picture?
Right.
So here's some tips to be aware of if you decide to, and I'm not calling out just this one up, just anytime these little apps pop up.
Yeah.
Do you really know what they're doing with your pictures?
So here's the funny part to me as you say that. It's kind of crazy, but do you think these app makers are targeting people knowing that they're like, hey, we need people's pictures so that we can go in with the hacking deal. How do we get people to give us their pictures? Let's develop an app that does something fun,
right,
to get their pictures.
And see, that's the thing. It's just a big question mark.
So you just don't know.
Yeah, you just don't know.
So it could have been that, or it could have been innocent. But either way, this is what it's going to be used for in the end.
Yes. So here's the thing
that's crazy.
That new app that I just showed you guys.
Yeah.
They claim that they delete your picture off their servers within 48 hours.
Yeah.
But there's no public test to say, oh yeah, it is removed. There's no proof.
No way to know. Well, even still, once your photo's out there, right? It's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's one thing is...
How, on a scale like 1 to 10, how dangerous is that? I mean, I know it's not your social security number or anything like that, but it is your photo.
Well, it's not so much your photo, but is the app itself. What's that app itself doing in the background that you don't know? You know, because you have to grant it access to your camera to take your picture.
And probably your photos at the same time?
Uh-huh. So,
because I've noticed that it always says camera and photo storage.
Well, it does that so it can store that picture in your
That's
photos.
what I mean.
But
so
here's the thing. You may not know this, but it could have the capability to leave that camera on in the background.
Yeah.
or turn the camera on when you don't know it.
Right.
So that's where it starts creeping me. I was like, it's one thing if I send you a picture of myself, it's a whole other. You watching, you kicking a camera on and I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, or taking the photos I've already taken and using them for whatever.
Right. So, and that's the thing. Dave wants a selfie to see what he looks like as a Disney character, and yet somebody overseas somewhere.
Do they have like male Disney characters?
I think they just use that same platform for everybody's face.
So I got to be I can't think of what the Frozen character
name is. Saw a guy that looked like the Ratatouille chef, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, while Dave thinks it's all fun and games just taking a selfie to figure out which Disney character is, on the back end, somebody just bought his picture for 15 cents. Now he's the spokesman child overseas for adult diapers.
Why do I got to be adult diapers, Joe? Why can't it be something cool like Ferrari sales?
Yeah, motorbikes.
Because
there you go, Ducati sales.
Ferrari would have actually... No offense, Dave, but they spend big money to have people coming in where,
get an
hey,
Italian
we got
model.
this picture of this guy for 15 cents. Let's just plaster his face
like, there's no way that guy, he won't even fit in a Ferrari right.
It might be kind of cool, though, to happen to be over in India or something and see your face on a billboard.
Not as a diaper sales.
Yeah, I was going to say, it all depends
on
what you're advertising, Justin. Think about this. Yeah, you're thinking, oh, yeah, this is great until you see what you're advertising. Like,
well, the thing is, Justin's only taking pictures posing like Adonis. He's like, yeah. Use this picture.
Use this adult diaper.
What about that one?
It's super strong.
Check out these abs.
Extra strong. I never thought of that, Joe. You just put a new bug in my head that I didn't
see.
have
This is one of the things a lot of people don't think about.
Yeah.
So, and that's where the terms of service. I know it's a lot of legal jargon.
I'm not reading them.
Exactly, I don't either.
I got a technology guy.
Well, that's why I always just wait and see what happens before I jump in head first on this. But a lot of those terms of service that you agree to could possibly have these clauses that you aren't aware of.
The crazy part is you're saying this and talking to us as adults, but how many adults are going to let their kids take their photo?
Exactly.
And then now their kids' photo is going to be out there.
Right. And that's where the whole privacy thing.
Yeah, I mean that's scary because you really don't want your kid's photo used for anything.
Exactly.
Because you never know. But I mean, I don't know. I'm 47, so I don't have a whole lot to hide.
Right. And
I'm pretty anyway, and I know it. That's a joke. I'm pretty sure they'll look at my photo and be like, "Yeah, get this guy out of here."
Well, and that's where Cena and I, we work with our local police department and all that. And just seeing what we've seen, we're very cautious on posting Sadie's pictures online.
Oh yeah,
and we have family members come up to us on numerous occasions, go, we wish you would post more pictures online. We'd love to see Sadie more. It's like, look, I'd love to post every picture I take of her every day. I'd love to.
Yeah.
But seeing the negative side of things, that's why we're extra cautious. It's not that I'm ashamed of her. It's just I'm doing my part for her privacy.
Yeah.
That there's some creeper out there having pictures
little
of
kids are tricky.
Yeah.
As far as social media, so you gotta be real careful.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to the people posting their most intimate details. I'm private.
Yep. And I worry because I know kids. It's so easy to give a kid an iPad now or give them their own phone and they iMessage their friends.
Yes.
Or whatever it's called. Is it still called FaceTime?
Yes.
Okay. You FaceTime your friends and once those videos and photos are starting to be shared, then it's on.
Right.
And 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, they do all that.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So the last thing to watch out for is these apps could have ill intentions, like we've discussed so far, possible malware or possibly extra listening or extra viewing that you aren't aware of.
I like how you have all those things, but we started off with Dave's got to be in a diaper ad.
Well,
you could have let in with those things, Joe.
Right.
It'd been like worst case scenario. You're doing a diaper ad in India.
Hey, but you got to hook them. You got to get them. You got to hook them in.
That was the highlight of the story.
Yeah. If you think about it. If I say, Dave, you don't want to take these pictures because they could possibly be watching you when you're not knowing it, and you're going, well, that's bad. Hey, Dave, they could be taking your picture and selling it to an advertising company overseas for diapers, and you're going, what?
Yeah, I know.
See, I just hooked you in.
I still, I'm not a very good example of that because I still go back to like where I go and what I do with my phone. Man, if you're trying to track me down and track down the stuff I do, you're in a bad way.
Right, but at least
like this guy's in Walmart again buying milk. Why does his go through all these half gallon of milks and snack crackers and stuff?
Right, but still that's not going to really bother you as bad as you being the new poster child for adult diapers.
Yeah. Well, I'm alright with that too. If that's what it takes, man. If they need somebody, then
Yeah, but here's the thing: they're using your face, and you're not making a dime off of it.
Yeah, I'm alright with that too.
You've heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, I don't
Use
care.
Dave's face to advertise anything, and he just said anything.
Yeah, there's worse things.
You say that now, Dave.
Until I actually need the adult diaper, then we start to worry. I'd be like, daggone it. Yeah, just give me the adult diapers.
You used my face for years, so why don't I get a little kickback on this?
Now I need your product. All right, Here we go. Yeah, I don't know. I lead a pretty boring deal, so that's why I don't worry too much. If I was doing all this awesome, exciting stuff, it'd be different.
Right. But that's this week's tip of the week on these face-changing apps. Yes, they are fun, but be a little cautious on which apps you use, especially if they're brand new, and just be
Where's
cautious.
this app come out of? Do we know?
This one I have not looked up. I haven't looked up this newest one.
I thought Justin would be on that already. He's kind of like the track
I didn't give him the name
down.
of the app. Let me pull it back up here.
He knows the app. He's already used it. He was.
Is that what he was working on this morning?
Yeah, he was taking his photo as Ariel.
It's Voila AI Artist.
What? I can't even spell that. I got a funny story though about spelling stuff. Remind me when we get off air. I'll tell you.
Okay. Oh, it's got to be good if it's got to be off air.
Yeah, it's got to be off air.
Okay, so
it's nothing terrible, but
So, for example, this new one, the Voila AI Artist, is based out of Canada.
Okay.
And this is the new big app.
Huh.
And over 5 days, it was rated over 25,000 times on the Apple Store, and
wow.
even more times on Google Play.
Can we trust it since it came out of Canada? So let me ask you, if it's out of Canada, is it really out of Canada, or is it like a Chinese spy company going through Canada?
See, that you don't know.
Yeah.
But and just again, I reiterate, I'm not throwing this company under the bus. I'm not saying they're a bad company.
Right, you just don't know.
Yeah, I'm just using them as an example of saying, hey, all of a sudden this new ooh and all, this new toy came out.
Yeah.
We don't really quite know where it comes from. We really don't quite know what all it does.
Yeah.
But
what information it's collecting. Yeah.
Time out here.
Yeah. Well, I, as a person that follows their IT guy's advice to the T, trust me.
It's like when I tell it's like when I go through Dollar Tree, you just never know what you'll find in there. So I'll go up and I go, I don't know what that is, but I gotta have it.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, so I was joking. But okay. Good stuff across the board, so all right. Anything we missed? We had Android update, Microsoft TV,
Apple TV.
Apple TV, sorry, and then Microsoft Windows 10 going to 11. Whew. And then tip of the week. I like your tip of the week, Joe. You've done a really good job with those. And for everybody out there, it's always nice to have an IT guy that can come in and give you tips of the week that help your everyday life out. And even if it's, from basic maintenance stuff that you need to be doing with your technology to, like today, warning people to be safe.
Yes.
Always handy and always helpful. So if anybody has any questions on any of those topics and or the tip of the week, how do they get a hold of you, Joe?
You can give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com or follow us on social media at amdigitaltech. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or subscribe to the podcast, Help Desk with Joe and Dave, or Dave and John. I need to look
it doesn't matter. I always just say Help Desk with Joe. You can find it that way.
And we're on all major platforms. Leave us a 5-star review, and it's hosted by Anchor.fm.
Yeah, and you notice Justin's name's not even incled in there because
this was pre-Justin.
Yeah, pre-Justin.
Maybe once I log 100 episodes, maybe I can get on there.
I just say if you can keep us steered on the right track a little bit.
If you can do your job.
Yeah, do your job and you'll get included.
Justin, we give you one job to do.
I know. Everybody's going to be like, who's this Justin guy and what is his job?
Because the guys just keep going all over the place. And
yeah. Who's steering this ship?
Exactly.
And what's Justin's contribution? I think he's just hitting the gas pedal. Doesn't even care where it goes. Just go there fast. Anyway. All right, well, Help Desk with Joe. Show 67 in the books with myself, Joe, and Justin. Another week, and another great round of internet and technology updates, along with the great tip of the week. So if you're interested, go back through the old shows and check out those tips of the weeks. I know, Joe, I remember you had a run of like 6 tips of the weeks were awesome for parents with teenage kids, because all of them applied to me, and I was just like, this is the best thing ever.
Right.
So, go back through our old episodes and check out some of the stuff there, because it's always good information. But for myself, Joe, and Justin, show number 67 here at the Patch Turned Up Studio in Spencer, West Virginia. We're out of here for the week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back with more exciting technology news next week on show 68. And Justin, we're climbing toward, I'm glad you put a number on it, climbing towards 100, where Justin can get his name involved. But we shall see. Yet to be determined. How about that?
There we go.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much, and we'll be back next week. Everybody out there, have a great week, and thanks for joining us.
We'll see you then.